Hi everyone. I'm sitting here with Gillian from Cultured Artisans. If you don't know Gillian, well, most people following my page will probably know of you already. Gillian is part of our What to Eat program. She's just come back from the Mind Forum, which sounds absolutely amazing.
Nice.
I keep missing it for one series of 3 events to basically raise money. 100% of the profits go to help stop the Central Coast coal mine. If you've seen the Mindful Mama flyers everywhere, online, offline, we've plastered the Central Coast with them to try and stop this dreadful mine from going ahead in our area, directly underneath my house, and a lot of our local farmers and 19 endangered species and coal loaders. With coal dust right near preschools and hospitals and aged care facilities. There's just so many issues. And the main one, of course, is that we have a water catchment under our valleys where we live that supply the entire Central Coast region, 300,000 people. And the option that we have if we don't have our water is treated mine wastewater. So that's what we're fighting. And we're fighting it with some really, really amazing events. We've got the Heal Your Gut event next Sunday, which Gillian will be speaking at, and then we've got 2 other events, one on the 29th of July and one on the 8th of September, but I'll be talking about those a little bit later. But today I wanted to talk to you, Gillian. Gillian is a fermenting and gut health guru, and we really wanted to talk predominantly about Master Tonic, but I know we're going to get off topic, and that's totally fine. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and tell people how you got interested in this whole topic?
So it gets really off topic very quickly, but maybe it's because it gets back to fundamentals really easily. I ended up learning and hearing about gut health while studying carbon farming and more specifically soil microbial health. So it was really at that very basic level what our soil and what is under our feet has an impact on our gut garden.
Yeah.
And it's just how interconnected it all is. So we cannot do this, and this is why it's so relevant with the mines. It's like we can't destroy the ecology that's around us.
And expect to thrive in that environment.
Yeah. So, you know, I was on what felt like a hippie commune in Tennessee, studying soil microbiology, and met Sandor Katz. So Sandor's this awesome ferment revivalist, and it was just the simplicity of his approach. It was like we have to know what's going on in the soil and be growing nutrient-rich, alive food and then consuming that in ways. And one of the traditional ways, apart from the appropriate preparation, was preservation. So then it was delivering fermented food.
So is that, you met him there, that was your first exposure to the
He
whole
was a
world?
fellow student.
That's so funny.
He was just another pleb. Like I'm meeting all these awesome Permies.
Yeah.
And so excited about them. And then Sandor got out in his very quiet way a table and started selling his books.
Yeah.
And the book at that stage was Wild Fermentation.
It's also funny. I actually, I was in New York and I fell into a workshop of his and didn't know how I got there. So it was like similar story.
Yeah. And his other book was The Revolution Will Not Be Microwaved.
I love that. I love his work. He's just incredible. If you haven't read any of his material, if you're getting into fermentation for the first time, his books are fantastic. And just reading his blog posts and his books, just his.
But he's another abundance thinker.
Yeah.
So it's all interconnected. It is fun. It's bringing back intuition. It's waking up creativity. Yeah. So all of these subtle messages were what was sort of the light bulb moments. And then when I came back, started learning from anybody who would teach, including you. And then it was the opportunity to share that passion. Yeah. And it was from a place of just sharing where I'm at, not anything else. You can hear Tiger in the background.
Tiger the dog.
So she's having her say. And then it was just going from there, because in so many ways what we started out with was a foreign language to people. And now everybody knows, has an awareness. Fermentation, gut health, beneficial bacteria, the microbiome. So now we can go one layer deeper and start talking about all the other things that are connected. And that's where it gets exciting, because, yes, Mindful Mama and the event is talking about us and our health and what we want to stop with the mine, but it's also what we're fighting for and what are the benefits that create when we engage in a healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle, engage with our health and responsibility in life.
Yeah.
So it's all of that. So
That was quite
that's what we'll
succinct by your standards, I think. That was very succinct. Hi, Mon. So today we wanted to quickly talk about one of my favourite things. We actually cover this in the What to Eat program. Gillian makes a wonderful tonic called Master Tonic. It's called fire cider. Most people in the States refer to it as fire cider. And it's such a simple ferment. She's going to be making that and sharing around little tastings on the day, on Sunday. But I wanted to talk to you about that ferments as a medicinal food, not just feeding our gut flora and increasing our numbers of probiotics, but also if we can ferment really medicinal foods, that it's such a powerful, like just if anyone hasn't tasted it, it's very strong. It's like lots of chili and horseradish. If you have a sip of that, if there's an itch in your throat, you take it, you're good, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's the most powerful combination of compounds that you could possibly ingest.
Absolutely.
Like there's probably no drugs that compare to that.
no, but it's in our cupboard, and it's our first go-to.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Master Tonic is an apple cider vinegar infusion, so a live apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
And then it's onion, garlic, chili, horseradish, and ginger.
Yeah.
And each of those of themselves have their own medicinal properties. And then we leverage those by then adding in extra. So turmeric, cloves, black pepper, calendula, orange peel,
anything.
Whatever's in your garden, you add to it and you bring it. So we're going to supersize things. We start with the basics and then we add in extra. So no two batches need to be the same.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. You'll never get bored of it. And I think the thing that's really important to recognize is that whenever we're talking about foods, and particularly the medicinal foods, they have such a powerful synergistic effect. So if you take turmeric, it's okay. The curcumin is not that bioavailable, but if you add pepper, it's like 2,000% more bioavailable. And it's the same with every single spice. If you look at the spice blends, the Moroccan and Indian spice blends, they're done that way for a reason, because they're so much more powerful. And when you look at all the research, it's like every single spice in there is made more powerful in combination. And so it's really incredible. So this sort of tonic is worth so much more than more than some of its parts, really. Yes. We have flip sides to that, even to do with the mind, though. It's not just the mind that is the undermining factor. It's all of the bits in combination, and then you interchange those. So these sorts of things, it's like when we're engaging for health, we can supersize and synergistically involve. And similarly, on the flip side, when it's not, the decline is just as bad. And so you couldn't possibly estimate how much damage the mind is going to do. Like when you start teasing apart all of the different things, you think, oh my goodness, it's so much bigger.
How can this be real?
How can this be happening? Bit of government corruption.
Well, it's been defeated before.
22 years we've been winning this battle. My sister's been on the front lines of this battle. 22 years. And in the year 2018, when Coles literally on the way out, that's when they approve it.
But it's not.
No,
it's not.
No, and it's not approved yet.
No. And this is where, so on the Central Coast there is so much more beauty because of the beaches, because of the bush, because of the water, the catchment, the rainfall. The fact that, where we are here, 35 minutes north of Sydney. And yet it's abundant.
This is the most beautiful place. For those who don't know, I don't know, can you...
Okay, now you've seen the room.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can you see that? There we go. Look at that beautiful outlook. This is the most beautiful.
Yard.
Just tell them about the house. Sorry if you tune in for gut health information. The house was built by Iranian stonemasons who lived in the shed, and they built the house, and the whole place is stone. Super high ceilings, all wooden beams. It's the most beautiful place, and Gillian's going to do workshops here, and maybe even retreats. We don't know yet, but
look, this place is made for sharing. So some of those dreams, if we talk about that, is like workshops out on the verandas with breakouts on odd spaces,
tables,
glamping tents out the front, the bonfire down the front.
Exactly.
We do enter into and engage with the land, and that might be harvesting, that might be mulching, that might be making compost.
They have so many plants here. It's
or harvesting honey,
nice.
all of those sorts of things, or even just feeding the sheep, or hopefully chasing the lambs. So all of these sorts of things are just abundant here. So all of those dreams are what this place is crying out for. So that's why we do what we do. It is passion, it is connection, it's building community. It's like we don't want to sort of just be alone single units. We were never made to be like that.
I think it's a big problem nowadays, especially when you don't need to leave your house to socialise. That it just, you know, you can connect with people online and you forget that, you know, real connection is very important. So that's what we're definitely going to do more of up here on the Central Coast. It's really not that far from Sydney or Newcastle. And it's nice to get out of the cities, I think.
So good. So good.
So talk us through, do you want us to talk more about Master Tonic or some of the others? She's
So
got a
what
whole
I've
series
got a
of
whole-
jars off to...
So what is nice about this one, I'll just sort of hold it here, because part of what I like about when we do this sort of thing is that, you know, when we talk about the onion that is in Master Tonic, it's like you choose which onion or which one you've actually got available. So different types of onion. And that goes through to the intensity of the chilies, whether you put galangal or ginger in, what type of garlic you use, and what type of radish. So yes, horseradish is great, and if you can grow it, even better. But Rocco has sold out.
It's really easy to go. So Gillian dug up, when we were filming for What to Eat, you dug up a little bit of the root and you're like, just go home, plant this. Make sure you plant it in a barrel. It's the thing. It's really expensive to buy. It's super easy to grow. So if you can get some, and I can post a link to a place that sells it online. But Gillian said, plant it in a pot because it'll take over your garden. And so I put it in a Ziploc bag and left it in the fridge for like 4 months, and it went moldy. And I went, good job, Georgia, like really well done. That was given with a lot of, you dug it out of the soil with your bare hands, and I left it go moldy. I'm like, well, should we just shove it in the garden and see what happens? And so we shoved it in a pot with another plant and just went, can't hurt. And it sprouted up. We could not kill it. It is the most vibrant plant. And that's when you know a plant is good for you, when it's genetically strong, like my husband calls it dandelion. And so I catch myself going, which one is it again? Because we just call it dandelion for fun now. So it's just one of those things that if you can get some, you can grow it so easily, you can't possibly kill it. Although someone in my group said, oh, I managed to kill it. I'm like, oh, I'm very sorry, you must be really talented.
My dad, when I gave it to him, planted it in the courtyard garden, and it went as a mineral accumulator, deep roots. In the end, it was coming up everywhere, which is what it can do. So you do plant it in that.
Be careful,
But it's like sometimes you can't get it. So when I tried to get it for today, it was unavailable. It was sold out at Beaches Market last Friday. So you can substitute for any other radish that is available. So daikon,
the daikon
red
is the long white one, the little red ones.
And you know, these ones then impart, you know, a pink colour to it.
Nice.
So we know we get this tinge to it because we want people to try something new. But it's, you know, with the apple cider vinegar and the chilies, it can be really strong. So, you know, you can try it different ways. You can reduce the intensity, flip it around.
Leave the chili out for children if they want. My baby would eat chili.
I have to leave it out for my sister as well. So I do that. But also I tell people that, you know, when I'm using it myself, if I'm having it like every 2 to 3 hours, my body's my feedback, and I know when I can take it and how often I can take it. But if I'm taking one to bed to have in the middle of the night, I put it into a little bit of herbal tea, like a lemon and ginger tea, a little bit of Manuka honey.
Or honey, exactly.
Let that go cold, and then I'll have that in the middle of the night. And that way, you know, roughly 1 to 2 days, if I feel like I'm coming down with something, that's it. It's gone.
It is gone.
It is absolutely
gone. And my
gone.
husband laughs because I got sick this year for the first time in years, and he goes, I think that's only the second, and I had a cold, and I had to just keep working, and I didn't have anything in the house to take. I didn't have my Master Tonic ready, and he's like, well, you're sick. It's like, I think this is only the second time I've seen you. He gets sick all the time. He's just weaker immune system, and I'm like, yeah, it feels really nice because I can take the day
the
off.
Master Tonic, not the sickness.
No.
The sickness.
The sickness. I was like, it actually feels good. Everyone's looking after me. Everyone's being really nice. I'm like, I'm going to slow down today. It's like, I haven't done that for several years. So, you know, I kind of felt like a bit of a princess being sick. It was nice. But yes, if you don't want to get sick, if it's a regular occurrence in your household, Master Tonic is it. It's just, you can't fathom how powerful it is until you start to feel sick. You get that sort of 5 p.m, 6 p.m. heaviness, and you're like, oh no, I'm going down. And then you start taking it, and the next morning you're totally fine.
And I travel with it now.
Yeah.
So it's one that comes in my suitcase.
So you just have to explain at customs, like, it's
I
Master
did.
Tonic.
I did.
It's called fire cider.
Yeah, it was nearly confiscated in Mauritius. They wanted to know what it was, and they literally went online to check what it was. But anyway, it is one of those ones that you can travel with.
Yeah, cool.
You know, because it's not going to explode.
Yeah, there's no white powders floating around it.
No. And there's nothing live.
Yeah.
You know, in that regard, as far as, you know, if you're trying to travel with a kefir or anything else.
Yeah.
So no, definitely amazing.
Have you ever tried to travel with a kefir?
I have travelled with it on coconut milk.
Okay.
So I haven't crossed borders with it in dairy.
Yeah.
Because that's just an absolute
No.
no.
Yeah.
So,
That's so funny.
but this one I will. So no, I'm a big supporter of Master Tonic. This is one that's brewing. If I just go off camera for a moment.
Yeah. Grab them.
That's one. So literally all we're doing is increasing the surface area of those. Can you see that? A little bit thing. And when I chop all of these, when I'm doing a batch, I might choose the onion. And that's like those 5 main ingredients. It's like, okay, it's roughly that amount for each of those.
Yeah.
And then for the others, like the turmeric,
Yeah.
we just add in a piece, chopped up. But again, it's just increasing surface area, and whether, you know, what it is, it's not the look that matters, but we want the surface area to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't quite gone down to the biodynamics of making it on the full moon and harvesting it on the new moon.
Beginners, you can admit that.
Yes. And, you know, you don't have to dance around it naked and all that.
Not until you really get into the science of it.
It is just amazing. I'm really a big proponent of it. So.
And I think it's good if you have, like, whatever you have lying around.
Oh,
like, if you have
absolutely.
leek greens,
Yeah.
brown onions, just so you know, brown onions are the most powerful.
Yeah.
Or the little shallots, actually,
these
the French ones, are the most powerful. And then pink is less powerful and white is less powerful. But it's like, it's also about, you know, the kind of flavour that you want to develop as well.
Yes.
So I love chili in mine.
So
but it
versus,
burns.
you know, a very light.
Yeah.
You know, not much.
Yeah.
Versus super hot.
Yeah.
So definitely. It's
Cool.
just
Do you want to talk about any of those other ones?
What other ones? What
Is
have
this
we
all
got
left over
here?
from the Mind Foundation?
No, but I did take
Before-
some of them. So I spoke at Mind on condiments.
Yeah.
Because this is something that people are forgetting and not even twigging that these were lacto-fermented
But that's it. If you look back, like, everything was lacto-fermented.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
Yeah, and we're dealing with the microcosmos, so they're only small amounts.
Yeah.
Now they're sugar-laden. They've got
Vinegar,
ingredients
sugar,
list.
salt,
It's
and
just, you know, they're laden with things. So if I lean over again, you know, 2 more here. This was one that we did that was a pumpkin carrot and cranberry condiment. So again, I love the colour. We want to make things that actually engage the eye.
Yeah.
And, you know, for want of a better word, seduce people into giving it a try.
Do you know what, Jim? I was speaking to this year's interviews at Watch Week were just absolutely amazing. We were speaking to Jennifer Mclogan, who is the author of some of my favourite books, Odd Bits. She did Bitter as well, and she was talking in that interview about the colour. We actually have, like, taste something different. If it's dyed with red, it actually tastes different to our palate. And so colour is incredibly important, you know, and the way that you present things.
And that one was a Tamarillo one.
Oh, yum.
So we literally found something that was in season. It's like, and feeling into the taste buds.
Yeah.
What could we combine with that?
Yeah.
And then lacto-ferment it for a small amount.
Yeah.
You know, and literally have it as small amounts. So these sorts of things. Tomato sauce, mustard.
Oh, how good is mustard?
So
it's
easy
so
to make.
easy. I sort of rant about. By the way, Mon, if you're still watching, I just have to have a little tangent here. I've been wanting to thank you for like 2 years. I don't know how long ago you went to Paris and you brought me back the mustard. It's still good. It's like they put heaps of salt in it over there. It's the best mustard I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm like saving it. I put it in mustard dressings, and just thank you if you're still watching.
Absolutely.
But to make it yourself,
It is so easy.
it is just like soak
easy.
the mustard seeds, blend them, the apple cider vinegar,
Yep.
pretty much it.
You can add some horseradish if
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
to really.
Yeah.
Because
But
Stephen,
that's it.
he likes it if it takes the top off his head.
Yeah.
So it's one of those sorts of things.
Each their own.
And then, you know, I do it, the base on just a yellow mustard seed,
Yeah.
but then you stir through all the different other colours.
Seeds, yeah.
So that you've got the texture in it and the
Yeah.
colour. We want to invite, we want to have texture, we
It's
want
the
a flavour.
best, and it just tastes
Make it
so much. It's very strong, and you actually don't need to, like, it lasts for
Yeah.
ages.
So we'll have some of that next Sunday. We'll have some of
cool.
the tomato sauce. We'll
She's
have
got a
these
million
chutneys.
ferments, and she's going to bring them all. So that's very
We'll
exciting.
have tasting galore.
Yeah, cool.
absolutely.
Cool.
For those. Then here we've got, you know, a sauerkraut that was made on, like, This one was made because French lavender salt was available at the markets one day.
Because that's why you should make sauerkraut.
I know,
French lavender salt.
Well, it's like, why not?
Yes, exactly.
And it's like, okay, feeling into that, what would it be like? And then tasting it. So all of these things, it's feedback, creativity, intuition.
I think that's the thing. I think that there's not many things, because we all follow recipes. Well, I'm not very good at following recipes, but in terms of, until you're a very good cook, you're not that creative in the kitchen, right? Because it takes a lot of skill to just go, I'm going to throw that together. And I think anyone can learn that. But it takes a while to be that sort of cook. But with fermentation, as long as you know the method of fermentation, you don't need to know do those flavors. You can just try it and see, and most of them work.
Yes.
And so it's like this wonderful way for people who are non-creative cooks to have that ability to get into the kitchen and make beautiful artistry, edible art.
Okay, I'll grab one more.
There's so many gorgeous ones.
So this is a FODMAPs one.
Yeah, cool.
So, but look at the colour of that versus this one. Yeah, it's just, and I could grab 4 or 5 more from the fridge that are different ones. So what we can do is create things that entice with the eye. Coming back to colour again, but it's like I start to do this and I start to salivate.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So it's like we want people to engage in food at that level, to be you know, switched on by what they're eating, because that actually has an effect on what's going on in the gut.
Absolutely, a physiological effect. And so if you're not excited about the food you're eating, you won't digest it as well. You won't extract as many nutrients from that food. So it's very, very important. And I think that's the other benefit of having these foods with a meal. Not only are they providing a lot of digestive, like enzymes and probiotics, which help you digest your food, just that sour taste is very stimulating to the digestive juices as well.
Yeah. But once we open up that sour palate, it's like what we open up is just huge. Yeah. So the spectrum of what we can enjoy is huge. It's not just the one flavour.
Yeah, yeah.
And then subtly though, it does steer us away from
things that you might have craved before. Yeah. It really does.
But
even in children, remarkable effects in children. I'm surprised at what. My son is a total weirdo. It's because he picks up, we're like, no, sweetie, at 6 months of age, like, no, that's a lemon, you won't like that. And he just goes, and just that. So that's how he, because I ate sour foods all through my pregnancy. But if you get them into this, because people say all the time, like, how will I get my kids to eat? I'm like, trust me, a few tastes. Yeah. Like Jane Jenkins says, the Captain Cook principle. So you're like, oh no, this is mummy and daddy's food. Like sort of treating it like it's a champagne. Like, okay, you can have a little bit. Reverse psychology always works to introduce it, but then they get a flavour for it. Just like adults who haven't been exposed to these foods, it becomes so moreish and addictive. Yeah. And that is your favourite flavour rather than the sweet stuff. Yeah. It's quite profound how quickly it happens too.
Yeah. And then as you savour those flavours, lo and behold, we tip into mindfulness. Yeah. Parasympathetic mode, and we can digest our food better. Yeah. So and all these gut
bacteria are flourishing. Like the whole system down there is flourishing because of these foods. And most of them, they're having a transient effect. So there was, back in the day when we first started studying probiotics, everyone thinks you eat them and those good guys just live in your gut. They go through fighting the bad guys on the way out, but they're transient. So you need to eat these foods every day and as many as possible. And that's why I love what you're doing, is because there's so many different varieties. But if you had a whole fridge full of these, you could just have a teaspoon of 3 or 4 in a day. And every single vegetable has its own set of probiotics. So if you have a fresh spinach plant, you're looking at 600 to 800 strains of probiotics. Just like breast milk has 600 to 800 strains of probiotics. And so it's all unique to all these different vegetables if they're grown in healthy soil. Yes. You want diversity. That's what you want.
So diversity will bring resilience. Yeah. But again, it comes back to the soil. Yeah. So we need to have healthy soils. We need to respect the soil. In the past, civilizations would live and die based on what they did and how they treated the soil. Yeah. And that sort of has the correlation to how we treat each other. Yeah. So, you know, there's some stuff going on the Pacific Highway at the moment, or the M1, and I look at it and I wonder, the people that are ripping out this earth, how do they treat their buddies? How do they interact socially? And it's like, you know, when we open up our flavour palette, you know, I wonder whether we open up to our ability to accept others, to try things out, just to give them a go. Yeah. And to see. And
well, it certainly has such a huge impact on moods. Like as a very starting point, even if it doesn't go that far for everybody, just the way your thoughts and your mood, there's no question,
and it's too late.
Yeah.
And then that brings us back to the vagus nerve.
Yeah. Oh gosh, don't give away too much. I'm saving that. That's my talk on next Sunday. Is it next Sunday? Not this Sunday. Next Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Normally I would talk about food, and I just decided I'm going to talk about everything bar food because there's other people. Good. Lee Holmes from Super. Should mention who else is speaking. Lee Holmes from Supercharged Food. Kate Johnston from Core Wellbeing. My friend who's a naturopath nutritionist. If you don't know her already. Jane Jenkinson from Wholefood Family, and I'm going to be talking about all the other things, so weird and wacky things that actually affect our gut flora. So when we talk about the vagus nerve, we can actually, no, I won't get into it, but you know, splashing your face with cold water seems like a really weird thing. How would that improve your gut? But that's where the vagus nerve opens out into your face. And so we can actually tone that nerve, which has a direct impact on our gut health. So breathing in the air in a forest. We've got a Facebook ad starting that's going to say all this. We were crafting it last night. I was like, what are the most interesting facts? That if you go into different forests, you're breathing in different plant chemicals and bacteria, and they actually have an effect on your microbiome. Laughing, cuddling. There's so many things that you can do that even if you don't change your diet, you could just do some things as a family together, like belly laughing twice a day and cuddling several times a day. This is, you know, these are things that you can do without having to change your diet.
No, but when you leverage them and you're doing
together,
all of it,
more than the sum of their parts, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. So no, we can improve lifestyle, we can improve well-being, and we can improve health.
Yeah.
If we come back to, and whether we pick the soil or gut, they're kind of logical places to start with from the ground up.
Yeah.
But they layer in, and what the spiral of decline has been so bad and so fast.
Yeah.
It's not that we're going to fix it all in one go by what we do, but that first thing invites something else in.
Yeah.
And so
that's it. And
all of
just,
this
it becomes a spiral upwards.
Absolutely.
And you start to feel better, and then you take more action, and it's the same with everything, really, isn't it?
And then you bring others in for the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a whole heap of fun doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what it is with fermentation people. I don't know. All fermentation people are very, very energetic and a bit crazy.
Bubbly.
Yeah. Bubbly. I love bubbly.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
So,
I like it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. How long have we been talking for? Too long? Yes?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Look, if we'll save the rest for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Come along.
Buy a ticket. They're on sale.
We still have tickets left. You do get an early bird if you book before. I think we just extended the early bird, so you get $250 worth of ebooks from all Australia's best wellness bloggers. There's 300 recipes in those books. They're all really, really good books. So you get that if you book before a certain time. I don't know what the date is. But yeah, the tickets are only $97. The reason that the price is so low, normally you pay $200, $250 for it's a full day event with tastings and things like that. So is because all of the speakers have donated their time. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Everyone donated their time so that we can raise money, and all the funds can go to basically a huge court case, taking the government to the Land and Environment Court to prevent them from doing this, and hopefully set a precedent in the state of New South Wales so that they can't attempt to undermine a water catchment anywhere else in the states.
Exactly.
So that's what we're trying to do. If you could get on board, and even if you don't want to come, you can make a donation. You can share the event page, and I'll post a link below as soon as I get off this call, and help us spread the word. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you hopefully on next Sunday.